Do you really know what the difference is between an SUV and a crossover? Well, the debate has been going on for years. But what we have here today is the definition of a crossover. Just like a cross-dresser, this is a Golf sport wagon with rugged looks, big 18-inch wheels, raised suspension, all-wheel drive, and an off-road mode. It's a little bit tricky when you do this cross stuff because most of the time you think you're going to end up with something like this, but in reality you end up with something like this. But you know what? The recipe is so popular in Canada, especially in Ontario, that we even voted for our premier based on it. In all seriousness, this car is exactly what most Canadians would really need. Why? Well, for starters, it's not really expensive. It starts just over $35,000. And you know what? Even the base model comes loaded with features, like the panoramic roof, for example. Our test vehicle has both optional packages installed, worth about $3,000 together, adding adaptive cruise control, front collision brake assist, lane keep assist, park assist, parking sensors, and it also adds adaptive bi-xenon headlights, an awesome Fender sound system, high beam assist, and LED signature daytime running lights. The interior design won't impress any art critiques, but it is very well made and very functional. Soft-to-the-touch materials have been used for upper surfaces, and the rest doesn't feel very cheap. Roominess is great for a family of 4, maybe 5 plus a dog. Rear legroom is adequate, headroom is great, and the seats are not as hard as they used to be. The trunk is huge. For the size of the car, 605 liters of capacity is a really sweet selling point. Under the hood, you get the very well-known 1.8-liter turbo 4-cylinder TSI engine that makes 170 horsepower and 185 pound-feet of torque. Hooked up to the dual-clutch DSG gearbox, it can hit 100 kilometers an hour in 8.4 seconds, and hitting the brakes will bring you to a very confident stop. Performance is really good. The engine is very flexible and pulls really well from very low revs, and it makes everyday driving a pleasure. The DSG gearbox is almost perfect, but what I'm missing is a couple of paddle shifters. The really good powertrain also enables good fuel economy. The observed average so far is no more than 9.3 liters per 100 kilometers, and that's regular unleaded. The raised suspension comes with multiple benefits and a small little penalty. First of all, obviously ground clearance is better, so snowstorms or light off-roading are much safer activities versus the regular wagon. Also, the off-road mode puts the XDS diffs in a more aggressive mood to help with extra traction on loose surfaces. It also activates hill descent control, which works very well. Finally, thanks to the longer travel the suspension can do, the Alltrack rides a lot softer than the rest of the Golfs. That means that potholes are dealt with much more effectively, and the Alltrack is a much more comfortable ride to be in. The small price you pay, of course, is handling, which now body roll is much more evident, and under heavy braking, the car follows my guts movement. It just all goes forward. Around corners, it's still very confident. It's just not going to inspire. Grip limits are not as high as in the regular sports wagon, and tire squealing comes much sooner. The Alltrack has been made for real life, and just as in real life, when we're young, we date the hot-looking sports cars because we don't care about their flaws. We don't have to live with them. Whereas the Alltrack is the one you'd actually marry. It's the one that will enable all possibilities and will make your life better. Since this one is your potential future spouse, and in Canada we voted it as Car of the Year, the Alltrack gets a very well-deserved straight 10 out of 10.